I am from Texas, but I live in New York City now. And I was walking around in Brooklyn where I live, and I saw something. I saw a white dude getting arrested. Which it turns out is a thing that I love to see. I had no idea that was even a thing I was interested in. It shocked me so much that I started saying things that I'd never said before in my entire life. Like I saw this dude being put into handcuffs and being put into the squad car, and I just heard myself go, "Hey, go police!" I just shouted it at the top of my lungs like it was my favorite sports team. I was like, "Hey, go Big Blue!" Y'all killing it out there, baby. Undefeated season, yeah. Ain't nobody taking y'all down this year. Became a Blue Lives Matter dude. I lost myself. When I was in high school, Lil Wayne was the biggest rapper in the world. He was the absolute biggest rapper. There was nobody bigger than him. And he had a lot of songs where he would say, "Fuck bitches, get money." And because of that, I went to a high school with a lot of dudes who would say money over bitches a lot. A lot. And it's not necessarily like a thing that I support, but it is a thing that I was just like around a lot. Like we'd be doing an icebreaker on the first day of class, and like a kid, named like Darius or something like that would be like, "Oh, okay, miss, you want to know something about me?" I was like, "You want to know something about me and my lifestyle and how I'm living? Okay, you want to know something about like my own personal beliefs and just what I feel on the inside of my heart? I mean, I'd have to say first and foremost, it's money over bitches. That's just kind of how I'm feeling. It's just where I'm at. That's a thing that would happen in my classes constantly, every day, all the time. And it's like I never said anything to those kids, but I always wanted to be like, "Yeah, bruh, how often is that a problem for you?" You don't even have a driver's permit yet. Doesn't seem like it should be an issue for you. You don't have a car, you don't have a job. If anything, you a moneyless bitch. And also, if you feel like your life is money over bitches, like if you feel like that's the way your life is like planned out, I feel like if anything, that's probably a time management issue, right? Like you could plot it out the right way. Like if you wanted to fit it all, like you could do it. Like you could do money from 9 to 5 plausibly, all right? You could do bitches from 5 to 7 plausibly. And still have time for a third activity, right? Draw yourself up a little Google Calendar. They got it. They're accessible. You get yourself a calendar. Next thing you know, that's money, bitches, rock climbing. You got that all in that's all in your environment, dog. You could do that. I've been thinking a lot about cultural appropriation and like where it comes from. It's a thing that there's a lot of conversation about. I'm on Twitter. I see what people are talking about. Like, why are white people appropriating like black culture so much? Where does it come from? And I had to sit down and like think about it for a long time and think about like why that happened and where it came from. And I think it's every black comedian from the 80s fault. I think they made that mistake because it's like black people just are the coolest group of people, objectively. Yeah, that's just true. Black people just are the coolest group of people. And I think if you see like the coolest group of people just teasing you for like a very long time, then it's just gonna shift how you act. I think that's all. Like, I think that black people just like teased white people for such a long time that they were just gonna change their entire behavior. I think like white people were chilling and just like living their lives, and they saw Eddie Murphy just like do an impression of a white person, and anytime he did it, he was always like, "Oh, I left my mayonnaise in my station wagon." And like, I think white people just watched that happen for a long time, and they're like, "Hey, fuck it, we getting cornrows. How about that?" That's Eddie's fault. He did that for all of us. Anytime you see a nigga just like do it, like having like dreadlocks, doing yoga, that's on Eddie. I grew up in Austin, Texas, and before I moved from Austin to New York, I decided I was gonna do some stuff that I'd never done before. So I decided to go to my first gay club. Where my gays at? It's never as many as you want it to be. They're like, come to LA, it's hella gays, and it's just like it's not what you expected. Went to my first gay club, and the gay bar district in Austin all the gay clubs are on 4th Street. And so I told my roommate that I was headed out there for the night. My roommate's another straight dude. I was like, hey man, I'm headed to 4th Street for the night. I'm gonna go hang out. I'll see you later. Good night. Goodbye. And my roommate looked back at me. He was like, I mean, you gotta express yourself. So you gotta go out there. You gotta experiment. Like live your truth. I guess that's. And he looked up at me, and he was like, "But what if you go there and one of those guys wants to fuck you?" Which is like, I see the looks on y'all's faces. Like, I felt the exact same way. You know, what an ignorant question. It's like, of course one of those dudes is gonna wanna fuck me. There's no doubt in my mind, right? My man's out here talking about hypotheticals. I'm like, my man, I look great and I believe in myself. So,